When it comes to ED medications, people expect an effortless, instant reaction. You take the pill and the lights turn on. Because of that expectation, men often walk into a clinic or a pharmacy asking for a generic umbrella term. They ask for Viagra, assuming every pill does the exact same thing. Treating all these medications as interchangeable is exactly why men end up with pounding headaches, weird timing delays, and ultimately a failed experience. The brand name printed in bold on the box isn't what matters. The biological driver is the specific pharmacological salt inside the capsule. If you just grab a familiar brand without matching the underlying salt to your body, you guarantee a poor return on your investment and unnecessary psychological stress. Marketing campaigns promise total spontaneity, suggesting you can take a pill the moment the mood strikes. But every salt operates on a strict metabolic schedule that your digestive system dictates. This split screen compares two approaches. The common method, buying generic pills, taking them randomly, and guessing, results in high failure. The optimized strategy, identifying the specific salt, timing the dose, and matching it to your lifestyle, guarantees a high success rate. We are going to strip away the confusing marketing labels and rigorously analyze the 4 core active ingredients actually available on the market today. Aligning your specific biological realities with the correct chemical salt is the only proven method to ensure these medications actually work. Let's start with the 2 most accessible options, sildenafil and tadalafil. We'll evaluate them using this comparison matrix, measuring onset time, efficacy window, cost, and side effect risk. First is sildenafil. Sildenafil requires a 30-minute onset period to enter your bloodstream, and it carries a relatively low financial cost. The trade-off is a narrow 4 to 6 hour window of effectiveness. It also carries a higher risk of longer-lasting side effects, specifically heavy headaches and facial flushing. Dropping to the second row, we have tadalafil. It shares that same 30-minute onset and remains very affordable, but it offers the potential for daily use if approved by your doctor. Because of how it metabolizes, tadalafil provides a massive 12 to 18-hour window of efficacy. However, its specific side effect profile includes persistent muscle and back pain. Tadalafil removes the strict ticking clock anxiety of sildenafil. You just have to accept that if you do experience body aches, they will linger right alongside the benefits. That brings us to the more specialized tier of salts, vardenafil and avanafil. Returning to our matrix, let's look at the third row for vardenafil. It sits at an average cost and delivers a solid 12-hour efficacy window. The required input is patience. You wait a full hour for activation. With vardenafil, you sacrifice immediate spontaneity for an extended, reliable window that covers you completely overnight. Finally, the last row is avanafil. The inputs here are steep. It carries a high financial cost, and you are required to take it 2 to 3 hours prior to intimacy. It yields a moderate 3 to 6 hour window. But look at the final column. Its side effect profile drops drastically compared to the other 3 salts. Avanafil is useless for quick, spontaneous encounters, but if your body cannot tolerate the severe nausea and headaches caused by cheaper options, this is your premium shield. Before we route your decision, look at this. When these compounds hit a compromised system, internal pressure can suddenly drop. There is an absolute biological limit to all 4 of these medications. That limit is your pre-existing comorbidities. If you are actively taking medication for a heart condition, mixing any of these specific salts into your bloodstream is highly dangerous. That strict warning also expands to daily blood pressure management pills and specific classes of heavy antibiotics. These ED salts work by forcibly relaxing your blood vessels. When they interact with those other prescriptions, the physiological outcome is a sudden, compounding, and dangerous drop in your overall blood pressure. Attempting to optimize your intimate health without a doctor's clearance when you have other medical factors at play is a reckless, potentially fatal error. Choosing a pharmacological salt is exactly like finding the right dietary plan. If one method fails, it doesn't mean your body is permanently broken. You just need a different formula. Look at this flowchart, the efficacy router. We start in the center with your user profile. For rapid, 30-minute action on a budget, Path A leads to sildenafil. For reliable weekend coverage, Path B points to tadalafil or vardenafil. If you're highly sensitive to side effects with a higher budget, Path C routes directly to avanafil. Defining your physiological and financial constraints eliminates the cycle of trial and error, replacing guesswork with a data-driven selection process. Achieving consistent results depends on how precisely you align the salt to your body's specific baseline. These are highly specific chemical compounds. They cannot be treated casually, shared around, or viewed like over-the-counter party drugs. You must define your specific lifestyle needs using this router framework before you ever seek out a prescription. Finding the right salt is only step one. The specific milligram dosage has to be perfectly dialed in to match your individual body mass and tolerance. That level of calibration can only be legally and safely achieved through an honest, direct conversation with a medical professional. True optimization means taking this exact data to a doctor, replacing blind guesses with absolute medical precision.